Today for the Bitcoin price. And yes, something is brewing in the Bitcoin charts. And yesterday I was actually talking about Bitcoin already having bottomed out. I still do stick to that opinion, but there is one formation for Bitcoin which is dangerously similar with the one we had in the beginning of the last bear market. Are we going to see this worst case scenario, this very, very big rejection towards the downside, or am I actually going to be right that this was already the bottom? But more importantly, what is going to happen to Bitcoin in the immediate short term? I will be talking about all of that. Of course, I will be showing my trades, my future trades, and my expectations for Bitcoin in the immediate short term. What I need you to do right now is smash up the like button towards the new all-time high. I'm here right now in Kiev driving outside where I will do some shooting with like AK-47s and stuff. If you want to see more about that, go down below. Also follow me on Instagram at MMCrypto with the Brew verification checkmark. But without any further ado, I want to go into the Bitcoin price, to the content here, because what's happening right now for Bitcoin is pretty mind-blowing. So first of all, let me quickly recap what is actually happening. So we are here bearishly leading into that pattern. This is a descending triangle which has a bearish bias, right? I mean, all of you guys know that already. Bitcoin is actually doing what I was telling you yesterday. I was telling you that I am expecting a Bitcoin pump towards the upside. I was opening a trade here in my buying zone. As you know, I will show you my trade later on. And I was telling you that we can probably or potentially expect some rejection, some resistance here at the downward sloping resistance. This is what is happening so far. Now the question is, what is the next step for Bitcoin? Well, let's go into this one here. You know that we are in phase C here, most likely at least, since Bitcoin is perfectly replicating recently here all of these ups and downs predetermined by the Wyckoff accumulation pattern. So far, this is perfectly working well, and you can see here after this dip towards the downside, I was longing this. We were getting this pump towards the upside, and now zigzagging around with Bitcoin. Actually, pretty much exactly what I was talking about earlier. Now, what am I expecting for Bitcoin? Well, after being rejected here, I am, and it sounds a little bit boring, but stick here with me until the very end. I am expecting some chopping around for Bitcoin, maybe another retest of the horizontal support. Of course, the more we are retesting it, the weaker it becomes. Trading rule number one is the more often we are testing support or resistance, the more weaker it becomes. So of course, the more often we are testing it here, the weaker it becomes. And I mean, the less likely it becomes that I will be right with us having bottomed out at 28,800. Let's wait and see what happens here. But according to the Wyckoff pattern, we are actually zigzagging here, and in the next few days we should, according to the pattern, break towards the upside. The first target here would be actually among the 41 to 42,000 US dollar areas, among these levels here, where we are actually starting, or where we were actually starting this pattern. This would be the first target for Bitcoin. As you can see here in phase D, this is exactly what should happen there. And let's just wait and see here. But what I was talking about in the beginning of the video is this pattern here being dangerously similar to the pattern we actually had in the beginning of 2018 / the beginning of the bear market. And this is a descending triangle after Bitcoin actually having topped out. And I want to show you what I'm talking about here. So you can see Bitcoin has topped out right there, right? So what am I talking about? What is this pattern similar to? So first of all, you know what? Let me show you in the charts. I will make it much easier for you. I'm going over into the daily candles. Just a second, guys, bear here with me. So going over into the daily candles, what kind of similarities do we have here? So you know what? I will go over to the weekly candles because it will get even more clear. So the similarities we have is that for Bitcoin, we were just tipping on this orange line here, a line which I actually mentioned still when we were at 64,000. I was telling you, of course, and I still stick to that opinion, that I think this 11 years resistance, it's an 11 years resistance, is going to be invalidated in this bull cycle. And as always, guys, it is a very foolish thing to say that this time it is different, right? I truly believe this time it is different. Tell me, when in history did we have a pandemic, or however you want to call it like this? When in history did we have unprecedented money printing with 84 central banks in the world printing money 24/7, diluting your purchasing power? When in history we had global lockdowns? When in history we had economic uncertainty in the shape and form we are having it right now? Of course never. So things can be different actually, especially when it comes to hard assets like Bitcoin. But this is not my point. If I'm going back to this chart here, then you can see that the chart we are seeing right now unfolding for Bitcoin, let me quickly go back to the daily candles, is not only that we were temporarily topping out here. No, Bitcoin is bearishly leading into a symmetrical, a descending triangle. Here you can see the descending triangle. The last time we have seen a big descending triangle like that, and was even a little bit bigger, was after Bitcoin topping out here, bearishly leading into it, and then we had this symmetrical triangle with multiple touch points on the upside and on the downside. As you remember, if you are in crypto for more than a few weeks, Bitcoin broke down and afterwards only formed the bear market low. So what we could expect here from an historical perspective, from a probability standpoint, is of course Bitcoin breaking down. I was always telling you this is a bearish pattern. The likelihood should be higher to actually break down. The price target is 24,000. This one at 21,000. This one, we, even if we break down, I don't think we are going to reach it. I personally think that this time it is going to be different. Obviously, guys, don't bank on it with your whole portfolio. Don't go short before we are breaking resistance here and closing a daily candle below. However, this should be the more likely scenario. I am personally still sticking to my more bullish scenario here because, well, as I already mentioned to you, and I want to show it to you once again in this chart, because, and this is a very, very important point, in every single bull market, after having a massive buy up here after the halving, you remember that every single time after the halving, these are the orange vertical lines, Bitcoin is actually pumping in these green boxes towards the upside. After every single first pump, we are going to see a rejection down to the Fibonacci golden ratio. We saw that already in June 2013. 4 years later, I said that yesterday, we saw it once again in June 2017, right there. Every single time we are hitting this line, well, you know what happens. Bitcoin is pumping towards the upside. Now we are hitting it. So if this would be the top for the Bitcoin bull market, it would be the most short-lived bull market in crypto history after the bull cycle. It would be the smallest one, but also time-wise the shortest one. And now I want to remind you, dear ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly go back. I want to remind you that it is actually unlikely that we see the shortest and also the least bullish bull cycle in the most unprecedented times of money printing, in the most unprecedented times of economic uncertainty. And this is why I'm still banking on a higher price target for Bitcoin of at least 100,000, more likely in my opinion $200,000-300,000 for Bitcoin. First of all, let me know what you think about that. Obviously, I wanted to show you my trade here. This is my trade over on Phemex, $1.5 million. Why did I open that? It is, by the way, more than $100,000 in profits right now. And why am I personally planning to even put more into my trade? Going back to the 4-hourly candles, you can see that Bitcoin is in this, wait, I have to go back to my pattern chart. Bitcoin is in this pattern here. So what is my game plan right now? Well, if we were to break the support, if we were to close a daily candle below my buying zone, this is when I'm closing my trade, and this is when I'm saying, hey guys, I was wrong. As long as we are staying in that pattern, I remain profitable on my position. And as long as we are staying in that pattern, we can break towards the upside. And once we are breaking up towards the upside, once we are closing a daily candle outside of this downward sloping support, this is the moment I am going to double down on my trade. Let me know right now what you think. Probability standpoint, breakdown towards the downside and replicating what we've seen in 2018. If you actually take everything into consideration, the Fibonacci golden ratio bounce I showed you earlier, and I also showed you in yesterday's video, and also everything else like countries adopting Bitcoin, big institutions getting into Bitcoin. Elon Musk didn't sell Bitcoin, right? He's just bashing it. I'm actually still convinced that he's just playing with us a little bit, but we will talk about that later on. Also, El Salvador, now a second country adopting Bitcoin as a legal tender. Taking all of this into consideration, and a supply inflation of the US dollar in the last 12 months of 28%. I have a very hard time believing that this is the end of the bull market. Let me know. Do you think I'm delusional? Do you think I'm a delusional moon boy? Or do you actually think that I'm taking multiple factors here into consideration and drawing my own conclusion? Let me know what you think. Did we hit the bull market high already, or are we going to reach much higher price levels for Bitcoin? I want to know your opinion. And yes, guys, I am aware that this video was covering a little bit both scenarios, but I think this is also very important every now and then. Yesterday I took a clear side. I told you clearly that I am bullish long term on Bitcoin and that I don't think that we have topped out yet. Let me know what you think about that. Smash up the like button. We will see each other very soon in the next one of MMCrypto. And as always, guys, as always, quick reminder, if you want to trade like me here, make sure you are an experienced trader, of course, but if you are, in the pinned comment you get $3,000 for free. Scroll down, click the link, you get a bonus, I get a bonus. But the nicest thing is, if you click this specific Bybit link, within 12 seconds you get your own account, and after your initial deposit with my links in the pinned comment down below, you get accumulated almost $3,000 for free, and $3,000 at a 33x leverage. This is a $100,000 trade for free, and you can withdraw the profits from this free trade as well and add it to your holding position. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We will see each other very soon at the next one of MMCrypto. And as always, guys, as always, bye bye.